Hey, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to all everywhere. I am Tanetta Marie. You know who I be. Nevertheless, I always forget to say this. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button so we can get the algorithm going and share more videos that might be more pertinent to someone else. And if you like it, then you like it. So, thank you very much. I appreciate you. But can you believe it's the end of the year? It is 2023. We've been going along with this whole theme in 2023. It's all about me in 2023, which means it's all about you. And so I've been real excited. This journey has been very, very interesting. It's been very, very interesting, right? We started out with gratitude for the beginning of the year, moved our way into some prettiest girl in the world, some pretty girls rock. We wanted to embrace our authenticity and who we are as beautiful us. You know, whether you are a male or a female, I did cater to the women, but the men did bark at me and said, what about the kings? And so I want to make sure that the handsome kings is out there being authentic to who they are as well. Nonetheless, the holidays are coming up. Whatever holiday you celebrate, seems to be a lot of them coming up, and the first one being Thanksgiving this November, and my birthday month. Nevertheless, I just really wanted to talk about a little bit about triggers. Honestly, I wanted to talk about the self-education that we have as a whole and the over-education we have in today's society. And so as a therapist, I think that as a counselor, as a life coach, I have an appreciation for empowerment, and I have an appreciation for knowledge and educating yourself. The problem that we have right now is that we're over educating ourselves, we're overstimulating ourselves, and so to the point that when we learn verbiage, we try to own that verbiage and say, well, I get triggered by this, I get triggered by that. And it's unfortunate. It's great that we know what our triggers are, but it's unfortunate that sometimes we can't enjoy life because we understand some of these triggers. I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute. There's a longer video if you missed this. All right, not really miss it, but yeah, if you like it and you want to go further, I'm gonna let the video go. But I see my 3-minute mark, and I definitely made sure that I wanted to get those things posted first. But nevertheless, the issue that I'm having is that people are saying, oh, you know, this is my trigger. Oh, you look at me a certain kind of way. Oh, it used to be a thing where people were moody, and so we said, oh, they're bipolar. And really, it wasn't about being diagnosed as a bipolar. It was just really being like negative, like, oh, that person is moody, so they're acting that way, even though the diagnosis has more to do with, oh, that person's moody. And so we were generalizing people with certain clinical terms that just was not just, and it wasn't fair. And in the clinical world, it was like, how about we introduce what things really are to people? And so of course YouTube was great with that, making sure that people understood what diagnoses were, including words that we no longer use anymore. Just recently I heard someone say, I seen a doctor that said retardation, and I was like in awe, you know. So we don't utilize certain words anymore. And so you know, just out of respect, because some words were used to be derogatory, like, you know what I'm saying? So we just don't use those kind of things anymore. I appreciate people who take derogatory words and make it fun when it's about their own specific. Okay, it's a day. Plus the helicopter is looking for a missing person, so I'm concerned and I'm being alert. So I'm sorry, but you know, it's just a lot has gone on over the years. And so what I'm seeing is an overstimuli. And as we are ending our year, we are going to be stimulated by family, by friends, by ourselves, you know. And so I want us all to be more empowered and stronger. And what I'm realizing is that we are losing our strength, and we're calling our education empowerment, but honestly, we're using it as kind of crutches or justifications to this is the reason why I am the way that I am. So learning about certain things, whether it's true to who you are or not. And so I don't want to undermine anyone's diagnosis. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the point. The point that I'm trying to say is the generations we have, you know, and even the older generations, where we are all evolving into this this century right now, that we're just kind of going, oh, this is the way that it is. And it is the fact that I am African American or black to some, or whatever. If someone says, oh, you know, you are Negro, I'm going to have some certain kind of feelings because I know the origin of that, but I'm not going to take it to heart, because I'm probably going to think, you haven't grown yet, you don't know, whatever. But I'm not going to take it to heart where it's so personal, where, you know, I'm going to let you spoil my peace. I'm just not going to let you spoil my peace in a word that maybe you didn't realize was derogatory. There's a difference between someone saying something and meaning it in a derogatory way than a person who just didn't know. So honestly, I'm really not going to let you destroy my energy, my positive flow, my positive vibe over something like that. And so it's the same way with triggering. I was talking with someone and she was triggered by certain things, and you know, she was crying and she was like, I don't know what to do. You know, I heard a song, this is what it does to me when I watch television, this is what happened, and this is what happened to me when I was a child. And everybody's in their healing space, and everybody has their own time for their healing space. But know this, if you are in this space where your wound is still wide open, and if someone sprinkles imitation salt, in other words, nobody's trying to pour salt in your wound and rub it in, but someone threw up salt to celebrate and did imitation salt, and a piece got stuck in your wound. I want you to take deep breaths. I want you to recognize what's reality and what's not. The reality is that someone did something they didn't know, or even if they did know, they forgot, and you correct them. You are still dealing with it yourself. You haven't healed from it yet. All right, sorry about that. Had a little pause. Just want to make sure that I'm really paying attention to the helicopter of what's going on. You haven't dealt with your issues yet, and that is why you are so sensitive to the trigger, overly sensitive. When you get to the place where you are even somewhat healed, like I'm healed, I can talk about it, I can hear it, it's not so sensitive. It's more in a space of, I don't even need to talk about it. I don't even need to correct them. I'm just in this space. When you are, or I just need to let them know, because if it rubs me the wrong, if I get sad, if something happens, at least they know. When you are totally healed from it doesn't bother you. You may be vigilant to say, hey, that's inappropriate, and it can definitely trigger people the wrong way. You might be in a space where you're not identifying yourself. And sometimes you just kind of sit back and watch people, see what they meant about it, see, was it intentional? And so I'm bringing up all this because as the holidays are coming, people are more sensitive and emotions are coming, and people don't even realize where these emotions are coming from. I've just been watching a lot of it lately, a lot. And so because of it, I want us to be aware that even though I may know what triggers me, to go around and say that triggers me, that triggers me, that trigger me, you're hyper vigilant, you're hypersensitive. And so we are empowered when we can say, hey, that triggers me. What can I do about it? We're not empowered when we say that triggers me and it's like offensive. Like, how can I put this? I know my words are probably coming out wrong, like throw up, but I want you empowered because I care about you. And so the empowerment is to be able to know who you are in every single way and heal from it. Just heal from it. So if you're willing to do the healing process, it is, what can I do so that this doesn't affect me? Because when it doesn't affect you, it won't affect the people you're around. You won't be affected by the people who are around you. So don't play with my word verbiage and be like, don't. What I'm saying is, we're all going to be, I was raped when I was a child. I've had a lot of things happen, right? Molested, raped. I watched someone get their head blown out. I've got complex trauma like it's nobody's business. I should be in a whole different realm. But the healing journey has been intense. Some of it not intentional. Some of it, and a lot of it, intentional. And so getting to the space of sorry for all of the interruptions. I really am a little concerned because it's not a missing person. They are looking for someone in the area. But I don't want to take away from where we are. So sorry about the distractions, not knowing what you can hear or cannot hear, but nevertheless, I don't want to take away. So what I'm saying is, I am validating your feelings. I am validating your diagnosis. I am validating your triggers. But I am invalidating our reasons to justify them. I am invalidating the fact that we feel more empowered with the information we know, but it's unfair to place it on somebody else as their responsibility. It's mine. It's my responsibility to heal. It's my responsibility to learn coping skills to reframe my triggers, to put that energy into something else as opposed to onto someone else. Like I said, I've been raped. I don't like kids wearing name brands on their butt. If it says a name brand on the butt, it draws men's eyes right to a youngster's butt. I think it contributes to what's already out there. I don't think that it's very empowering to say, I'll wear what I want to wear because I wear it, and my kid will wear what she wants to wear. It's our right. We live in the United States. Knock yourself out. But is there an opportunity for you as a parent to have someone stare at your child's butt who is a pedophile? Yes. So you can't take that away. You can't say, oh, well, what if they look, they look. And if maybe they're not thinking about my kid, and because I put my kid in it, it draws them over to this kid. So because of that, that's what I think. So that's my strong opinion about it. And so that being said, if something happens to my child, I have to own what am I doing to reduce the probability that I'm not a helicopter parent, but I'm making sure that I am being accountable as a parent. So as someone who's been raped, I do the same things for the girls, the guys in our family, some of the young boys in our family. There's a probability that someone could rape you. There's a probability that someone could touch you. It's hard to find people who have not had some kind of experience like that. So because of that, what am I doing to reduce the probabilities, or if something happens, how you handle that situation? So it's the same thing as our triggers. When I see someone wearing it on, some child wearing it and some parent, I'm not hyper vigilant where I'm going over there going, that triggers me. I was raped and somebody was looking at my butt and they're going to look at your child's butt. That's not how to handle this. That's, you know what I'm saying? But if I had not been healed, I might think that that might be the right thing to do, how to handle it. But it is not, because you can cause more problems with people that you don't know, because you don't know their history, you don't know their past, and you don't know if that very thing that you're trying to prevent triggers them. So I guess what I'm just really trying to say is, can we be a little bit more aware of knowing who we are as individuals, and that it's our responsibility to heal? We are doing It's All About Me in 2023. And what I want you to know about you is the healing is real. You know how they say the struggle is real? The healing is real. If you have not reached your total healing point, that's fine. I too have not reached my total healing point. And maybe I never will. But if you get to the space where it doesn't bother you, or it's so minute where you know I can be an advocate, but I don't have to be angry with anybody who says something to me. I know a few people who are definitely oversensitive with certain things, certain words, But I also know people who have healed in a space where they're like, it doesn't bother me if my father passed away, and if someone said, oh, my father passed away, or your daddy wouldn't be happy if you did that, I'm not gonna stop and go, my daddy's dead, because it's something that I've healed over it. So because I've healed from it, my father has passed away, my father is dead. I can't change that. I don't have a lack of empathy or sympathy for that situation in my life. I have a strength of peace and growth. So that's what I want for you. And we can go into details with those things. But honestly, if y'all don't send me messages or comments, I'm not going into details, because one thing I don't like is people to put it out there and don't give you the steps to do it. But I know I'm gonna get some bite back, some backlash, some whatever. I'm prepared for it. But I always tell people, you are more than welcome to contact me. We could have this conversation. We're trying to do content. It's a little harder to do, especially because you don't have people talking back with you. So I can go live if you'd like me to go live. We can debate it, we can agree to disagree, or we can agree to say, how can we get stronger? I can go live to talk to you about getting stronger. So and definitely not from a clinical perspective. I would not be reaching out on the internet with a clinical perspective at this time, but I definitely will talk to you as a life coach, giving you tips on how to heal so that you don't have to carry the weight everywhere you go. I really want you to have that peace of understanding, that peace of loving yourself so much that we're not weighed down by our society. But we're not giving other people we don't know, people we know, that much power. If family knows how you're triggered and they want to get back at you, they can go, oh, Tanetta, your daddy dead anyway. And if that's it, it's like, oh my gosh, why would she say that, right? And why would I want to give that to anybody? And so I have to learn how to say, you know what, that's the truth. My father has passed. My father was not always the greatest kind of man. How can I process those feelings? Maybe I need a therapist. Maybe the therapist I have isn't the best therapist that knows how to help me heal from my scars. I need somebody who's going to help me heal my scars so that when salt comes around, or imitation salt, I'm not hypervigilant. I need someone to help me that when they're pouring real salt on it, that my wound is so protected by the best scar. Scarring is good, actually. You want that crust. You want that scarring crust on top. It protects us from having open wounds. And so we want to be able to know how to have that crust on top. And the goal is that it heals so well. And sometimes we start picking at it. And I think that when we're justifying, we're picking at that wound. They can heal so well where they don't pull, they don't get snagged by anything, you don't pick at it, and it just starts to fall off naturally. And you see that little pink skin up under there, and then it just starts blending, and you get your complexion back. You get your natural complexion back. That is healing. That is what the goal is. I have people wondering what I'm doing. That is healing. So I can give you tips on how to get to that space. I can't give you a duration. Everybody heals differently. And everybody has to let go, because sometimes we hold on to them because they can be our crutch. They can be the very thing that we get attention for. So healing is different for everybody, and when it comes to duration, the faster the better. The faster the scar heals, the better. If you have an open scar and it takes a long time, it's going to ache, it's going to hurt, it might get infected. We too can get mentally infected. All right, enough about that. I'm 25 minutes in. Y'all know how I feel about long videos now that I've learned how to shorten my life. But it needed to be said because the holidays are coming up. People know how to trigger us, especially if we're loud about, I get triggered. Not only that, is because we have other family members and they're going to tell us their triggers. Why'd you say that? Why'd you do that? And you're probably thinking, I just wanted to make cupcakes. I didn't know it was going to make you remind you of somebody or whatever. So I have a family member that gets triggered off everything. So she wants to cry about everything. And so for me, I have to remove myself from the situation because I'm not in that same space. It's not that I lack the emotional connection. There's no reason for me to be in a space where I just want to cry about something so somber, so sad, and so to put myself in that depressive state. So I have to treat things a little bit different. And so those are some of the tips that I can give you. If you want those tips before the holidays, let me know. Put them in the comment. Send me a message. bemotivatedtm@gmail.com. bemotivateddtm@gmail.com. I love you all. Sorry it was long, but it needed to be said. For those that I've offended, with all due respect, I apologize that you are offended. I will not apologize for what I've seen and what I know to be true, but I will elaborate if you'd like to have a healthy conversation. For all of you who get it and are hoping to change yourself, that's what 2023 was all about. We're looking forward for more for 2024. And 2023 is all about you, healing you, preparing for what is going to happen in 2024. All right, so I gotta go. Much love.